Welcome. This is a getting to know you video. Stephen Hobbs here from the Wealth Movement. And what I'm doing is just going to share with you a little bit about what's unfolding for me in the weeks and months and possibly the years to come. It's summarized very much in this picture that's on the whiteboard. And I use this whiteboard a lot in terms of sharing tips and tools and techniques with you. Today I just wanted to highlight 5 key verbs that are important to me for the projects and programs, processes and products that are going to be unfolding through the wealth movement that are provided by me, created by me. And this picture here is, I don't know if you can quite tell, but there's actually 2 trees there. There's a deciduous tree and a coniferous tree, and I draw them in that way as a way to remind me about the trees that are available to us that are our co-educators. And you can see the outline of the deciduous, and up the middle has a little bit more of a red to it, is the coniferous tree. And I'm learning to draw this combination. These are using the markers of a whiteboard, and it's me playing around. And this figure here is actually me and you. It's called the minstrel, and this is the person who walks from place to place, sharing the news of the day, more than a juggler, more than a jester. It's a central theme that I've had in all of my writings over the years. And I'm just sharing it because I'm going to start playing more with my artwork and see where it might take me. And I would encourage you, as a grandparent, to think about how you might be able to do your own drawings and or work with the grandkids to see what you can draw together, and or encourage the grandkids to draw and bring nature-based pictures to the foreground. Now, I mentioned about the 5 verbs that I'm going to be interacting with. The first one is eco-create, and this is about the idea of creating, co-creating, eco-creating. And the notion of creating, obviously, is things that I write and develop myself. Co-creating is interacting with yourself. And eco-creating, again, working together, but doing it from a world perspective, a regional perspective, in terms of trees, and inviting children to get involved with trees, and to leave a footprint for the generations that follow. The walk component that's something that I'm attempting to do every day. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't make it every day, but I attempt to get a good walk in of 5,000 to 10,000 steps. And it's just to keep me in touch with what's going on around me. And when I walk, even in the city, along the sidewalk, there are trees, and I take them in just as I go for walks in different parks, just to stay connected in my own body movement with the trees. Which then brings up this notion of the imagination and to imagine. On my desk is that I have a couple of books I'm writing. One is an allegory, and it'll probably take me a good year to get it finished, and it'll probably end up into a book series of about 10 books. So I'm writing lots and lots of short related books, about 34 pages long, and being able to work with my imagination about ideas that I think will be of fun for you and might stimulate you as grandparents interacting with your grandchildren. Because the imagination would be sparked by the walk, by the eco-create, and therefore when you go for walks with your grandchildren and see the trees, how might you pull in stories that might be of fun there? Currently I'm working with Populus tremuloides, which is trembling aspen. And it is a fascinating tree, and I've always loved it is because it shimmers and shakes and shivers in the wind. And if you can find one, go out and just stand and watch what happens when the wind blows through, and then get a little bit closer and see if you can figure out why it moves the way it moves. The next thing I'm going to be doing is educate. It's something that's near and dear to me. I think I have been an educator since day one. And what I'm doing here now is providing education resources for you as grandparents to interact with the grandkids and to actually open up and find out how the grandkids can be an educator to you, the trees be an educator for you, and therefore being able to interact with both. And then, of course, you can probably gather I'm going to do a fair bit of writing. And it's something that I've been wanting to do more and more and more. I've done lots, I've written books. They've been more into the business world, personal development. And I'm going to take some of those ideas and I'm going to bring them and connect them with the nature-based approach that I'm going to be offering to be able to bring it into this connection with trees and children and to be with you and help you do some writing as well. I know that there's some great stories in your head, heart, and hands, and I'd love to interact with you, work with you, guide you, mentor you in being able to bring those forward, because there is so much that we can do and be and have with trees and children. And let's just have that unfold for us. Also, I would encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell, comment, like, and share on this video so that we can continue to work together, learn together. So with that, again, this was a quick introductory video just so that you might get to know me, the 5 action verbs that are going to be used quite a bit in my own life as it's unfolding, and just to let you know this kind of artwork is going to find its way onto paper, into images that I'm going to be using. I'm going to tap into it. I actually left this world many years ago, and I'm going to just tap back into it and just play with it. Just as a reminder, this is the whiteboard pens, but I tend to draw it using highlighters, and there's only so many color highlighters to work with, and I've learned how to layer them on top of each other. So I'm just going to have fun with it. I think a phrase you'll hear often from me is simply serious fun. And I encourage you to join with me, and let's have that fun together. Let's interact with the children, the grandchildren, and see what we can do to bring greater awareness of trees into their lives and to be able to appreciate, celebrate the trees that are out there that we're interacting with on any given day, because we are. CO2, O2. Take care.